January 14th, 90 Town Center meeting is called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams? Here. Trustee Oscar Brown?
Here.
Trustee Pate?
Here.
Trustee Griffin?
He's in the restroom.
Trustee Rudez?
Present.
Trustee Larry Brown? And Mayor Covington.
Present. You all join together in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes for December 10th, and we'll read them all together if that's okay with everyone. Okay, December 10th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Rudez, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Oscar Brown. Questions or comments or corrections? I have one. On page 2, I think it said the village, Trustee Williams, on there, it said 4 trustees. Is that here? That's a question I want to ask. Do we have to put that in here or?
Yeah, this is what the statement that she made.
Right. I was wondering if you didn't specify which one.
She didn't name.
Okay.
She did not name them. She just
Okay.
said that the rumor was being circulated,
Okay.
which was untrue.
Right, okay. Also, on page 3, E2, the high school women, I said at Bloom High School.
Oh, I didn't hear the
That's
name.
okay. Bloom and Richie's.
Bloom and Richie's?
Yes.
Okay.
Pearls, I forgot the name of the one at Richie's.
Bloom Trail or Bloom?
Trail on
which
High
Bloom?
Bloom High School.
Which Bloom?
The one on Chicago Avenue, I think it's the Trail. No, that wasn't Trail.
No, Bloom Trail is on
Right, it's
South.
on South Trail. No, not that one.
Okay,
On Austin.
Chicago Road, just Chicago Road.
Ashland, yeah.
okay. Bloom and Rich East, you said?
Yes. No, not Richie Central. Sorry, that's Central. Rich Central. Okay, and on page 4, I also state the other ones that were unable to attend.
What paragraph is that in?
I'm sorry, on page 4, second paragraph.
Ashamed and unable.
Yes. Page 5, they weren't ordered, they were actually purchased.
What?
Last paragraph, second to the last paragraph, wasn't an order, it was a purchase.
Next to the last.
Yes, second to the last. Okay. And on page 8,
Excuse me, Madam Mayor, because I'm trying to understand what is your
on
correction.
said here, the third sentence, were ordered, no, they were actually purchased, they weren't ordered.
Ordered and or displayed here at number 90 Town Center and throughout the building.
Right, were ordered, ordered is incorrect, it was purchased, they were actually purchased, they weren't ordered. Physically went there,
Okay.
okay? I think this is just a grammatical error on page 8, third paragraph. That's it. John Townsend funds had been, that's it, that's all I have. Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Oscar Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Pate?
Aye.
Trustee Griffin?
Votes aye.
Trustee Rudez?
Votes aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye. Thank you. This time, we're looking for the report of the manager.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Board,
Good afternoon.
residents. For the time being, we do not, our system is experiencing some difficulties right now. The director has gone back to the cable station to try to find the necessary part to put it back online. So we're just trying to speak up for a little while now. My report is very brief as usual. During the previous meeting, the village board asked myself and the attorney to look into the cityscape properties. And we've done that. The attorney issued a memo, I believe, on November 11th. And the end result was that the property is currently still in the hands of the prior owners. You know, there's been no tax sale, so that we still have the same remedies that we had in the past, which is to continue to post tickets and liens on the property. We have had some conversations with a management company, a real estate management company in Kelly Park, who appeared, last time I talked to them was one day last week, they seem to feel like they're pretty close to purchasing the property, at which time they'll come in and renovate the property into apartments. And that's what we're saying with the cityscape property right now. We're continuing our efforts to connect with retailers who may be interested in moving into our new town center strip, which the board approved at the last board meeting. We're continuing this effort with letters and telephone calls and visits to various retailers as we prepare for the national conference in May. The village auditors, Lauterbach and Avon, have completed the 2009 audit report, which the board members see in front of them. They're currently working on the 2010 audit report. They will come to our February meeting to discuss with the board what their progress and what they've learned so far as their processes in auditing our financial records. The village has been in discussion with the State Controller's Office concerning delinquent TIF reports for the years 2009 through 2012 for all of our TIF properties, for all of our TIF districts. These TIF reports are delinquent basically because the audits are delinquent. The information taken to complete a TIF report is generally taken out of the audit financial statements. We have applied for a reduction in the an abatement and any fines that they may assess, and they're working pretty closely with the finance director, myself, and the mayor, and we feel pretty confident according to them that we will see some relief in any fines that they might impose. They do understand where we are with this process and what we're up against, and if they have the work comes out of the audit report. Okay, and lastly, the University Park project, the University Roadway Park project is still on track. That's the reconstruction of the road from Central to Cicero. We're currently acquiring right-of-ways, which is the last critical path for the reconstruction. You'll see on the board agenda a resolution. You'll see where we actually are purchasing 4 of them. We have 1 on the board agenda tonight. We have a resolution to continue to purchase as they become available. We have been talking with our consultant, Memphis, the right-of-way company, as he acquires the right-of-ways. He has hit a bit of a snag in the process with the Manilow property. It appears that Mr. Manilow is suffering from Alzheimer's disease, so the court has appointed a trustee to handle his affairs, so the trustees have to do a little bit more due diligence to fulfill their fiduciary duties, so that we can acquire that right away. Those confident that we'll have it in time for the spring letting. Same thing in the Clyde system right away. There's still a bit of a challenge there, but again, I'm still confident that we'll have those right away in time for the spring letting. So, and we do look forward to having the road reconstructed this summer of 2014. And that concludes my report.
Question?
Okay, Trustee Reyes Jackson, Trustee Williams, and then Trustee Oscar.
Manager Daniel, regarding the audits, is there any way possible that doing audits by 18 months would be beneficial to the community?
Right now, we do appear to be on track to be current within 18 months. The schedule that we've set now at the 2009 delivered in January of this year, which you have in front of you. The 2010, the field work is probably 80% complete. We have maybe a 2-page list of open items that they presented to us earlier this week, so we expect to have the 2010 audit completed in February. Then they begin right away on the 2011 audit. In the process of getting a little bit more routine for them, because you know we've also done a lot more of the back-end legwork for them. We expect to get to 2011 sometime in the summer, and in 2012 shortly thereafter.
Okay. And one more point of observation. I noticed as I drive through the community, we're just reeking in our streets on potholes. We need to come up with some kind of solution to it and kind of aggressively attack the potholes. From Cicero to from Central to Cicero is horrible. From Cicero to Governor's Highway is horrible. And then from the metro station all the way to the golf course, it's really kind of bad out there. And I know you and Ross are working on it, kind of short-handed. But I just want to bring that to your attention about those potholes, because some of them could be extremely dangerous.
Thank you. We have guys out, I think all day yesterday, patching potholes. You know, with this type of weather, once you remove the snow, the potholes appear everywhere. And we are being pretty aggressive at it. We keep a couple of men on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ross. We have at least 2 men working on it every day. And we'll have more tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ross.
Yeah. You were saying that it's a real estate company that's going to buy Cityscape?
Yes.
Okay, and then they want to renovate those properties?
They want to renovate them and rent them out as apartments.
Okay, now that, I don't know about the board, but I am against that because those are homes back there. And once you start renovating, putting rental property in between them, the home's value goes down. And I was wondering if there's anything that we can do to stipulate for whoever buys that property, continue to build them for what they were building them for, townhomes.
I'm not certain. I see the attorney's going to help me out on that. I know that it is zoned for, where apartments would be suitable.
It's just not fair for people to lose value on their home because people want to come in here and make a quick dollar off the rental. It's just not right. It's not right to the homeowner that's been there.
Well, we've done an initial.
No, Mike.
He said that earlier.
Not a problem, I understand. We've done an initial evaluation, which leads the manager and I to both believe that there is nothing in our zoning code with regards to the zoning that was granted to that property that would limit it to single-family homes and could not in fact be rented. So we'll look at it again, but I think our main goal is to try to get the property rehabilitated. It may be that eventually, once the market comes back, that the owner of the property will want to sell them and in fact convert them to single-family homes. But our initial evaluation shows that there isn't any zoning prohibition to prevent the use of those property for rental purposes.
Well, is there a way that we can put it in there that it has to be like that? I mean, there's a lot of people back there with a lot of homes, and it's just not fair to the homeowners that's been sitting there waiting for the property value to come back. And then when it comes back, they faced with rental property in front of them. That's not fair either.
Well, I would say the answer is that to take property that didn't have that prohibition on it before and to try to impose it now would not be possible. We'll look into it a little more, but I think that they've looked into it, we've looked into it, and their intention is to buy it and initially offer it for rental purposes.
Yes, actually, my question was regarding the audits also. Which meeting in February do they plan on coming, the first or second?
I asked them to come to first if they could.
All right. And the other question was, you're saying, when is 2010, 11, and 12 predicted to be done?
We're expecting 2010, that's in February. They completed 80% of the field work. Then they'll go to beginning in 2011. That should be about maybe a 2-month process.
February, March, April, and then you said the final in August?
Now, keep in mind, we gave them a 2-year contract. When we brought them on board, we gave them a contract to audit fiscal years 2010 and 2011. And we'll bring them back because we want to see, since we had bad experience with our prior auditors, we wanted to make sure that we didn't lock into a long-term contract. So far, I've been pretty satisfied with them. When the board meets with them, I think Joe has been pretty happy with their work on ethics. We'll bring them back to the board and ask them to extend the contract to 2012 or 2013, and they feel confident they can get those two done in this current, in this current calendar year.
And that must be pretty much covered.
In the current calendar year, yeah.
Trustee,
Also on the audits, with, I know you stated that the state would forego some of the fines because we are behind. That's on the tip.
The state has the ability to levy fines for delinquent reports. We've spoken with the state, and we completed the abatement and reduction form that they asked us for. And the guy that we worked with, he said that he will actually advocate in our behalf to his superiors. At this point, nobody can give us a dollar amount. He said his past experience, he's pretty confident that we will see at least some reductions in it. They do understand that they're happy that we're one of the communities that give them open communication.
Okay. So, okay, on another matter, I'm gonna ask you, but maybe Clerk Jones know also. I noticed sometimes the trustees are put under a time limit. Sometimes we need more time to speak. Trustee Payton beeps with this phone or whatever he had. I'm trying to figure out, when did the board vote on a time limit? Maybe you know, or maybe Ms. Jones, Clerk Jones know, because I don't remember voting on that. If it is, I like that to stop, because I haven't voted on a time limit for the trustees to speak.
Yeah. So waiting for an answer?
No, I'm waiting for an answer either from you or Clerk Jones.
I don't recall there being a vote. I don't recall there ever being a resolution or an ordinance, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I just don't recall it.
Well, then if it didn't happen, then it should stop there.
No, I
Because
don't.
sometime if you're in the midst of something, you need to finish your thought and go on with your whatever without your statements without being cut off. No, I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there was no ordinance or resolution passed. It was one of the standard operating procedures when it comes to the general public,
Yes, ma'am.
where the maximum would be for 30 minutes, and that they would ask that each resident or each public member would speak for 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Somehow, it got on the board also, so I don't remember any action being taken.
Thank you, ma'am.
I guess maybe that was Mr. Trustee Jones just said that's basically out of consideration of the time frame when we're here, that some of the people have stated that why is it that the trustees can talk longer than they can? So we were just being courteous of their time as well.
It's working now.
So, oh, it's working now? Okay. Trustee.
Yes, just to comment on Trustee Griffin.
Yes.
You need to be hostile, follow your own ordinance, man. Give me some respect at least. I mean, you're the one that promoted the ordinance. I'm just going to share with you my recollection of the reason it was implemented and why the board has been following that. Because at the same time, we wanted to put a time limit on public comments. We did the same thing for the board. And we have been abiding by that. 3 minutes. And so, there are some that want to violate the rules. Fine, if you want to speak all night, and we can be here at 11 o'clock. I can speak with the best of them. Let me finish my comments. Just be respectful of your own ordinance. You proposed it. All right. I would just like to comment also on what Trustee Williams' concern was, and to relate perhaps to Mr. Diamond, my experience with the community of Flossmoor. They do have a ordinance that restricts the amount of the number of attached housing that is allowed in the village to 15%. And I noticed earlier when we had the presentation here that the attached housing, or townhouses and condos and apartments, rental housing, was at 41%. A number of communities don't like as much rental housing simply because a number of renters don't have the same pride that homeowners do where they have a stake in that. So one of the things that we can perhaps consider would be to limit the amount of proportionately rental housing that we have. So, I mean, there could be some ways around the what's being proposed.
Could I answer that now? I passed, or my colleagues helped me pass an ordinance on civility. It had nothing to do with time limits on speaking. So you're twisting the whole scenario. It had nothing to do with time limits on speaking. It was on civility, which you violate constantly up here. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Trustee, I was not referring to the time limits when I was referring to civility in the ordinance that you proposed and which I supported. I was speaking about today, and you speaking out in a very ugly tone without, in my opinion, cause. I hadn't even had a chance to express my opinion, and I thought you were very disrespectful, and that, to me, was the essence of what your ordinance was all about.
Mayor, back to the apartment housing. There, some of our surrounding communities, they do have very strict apartment housing ordinances that might give us some sort of protections for things that the trustee may fear as far as the property not being taken care of as well as the homeowner's property. And Attorney Diamond, if we be the board, if it's the board's pleasure, we can look into some of our surrounding communities that have apartment housing ordinances control. We can craft something like that for the board to consider.
Trustee, you want to say something?
Okay. My question, my concerns, with the audit, did we get a summary, a raw summary before they changed anything? Is there any modifications done before we received them? Just a raw summary here? The findings, because I know they had some issues that they were speaking to me about.
What you have in front of you is actual financial statement audit report and a management report. Once you, and the reason we gave it to you today, much sooner than the auditors will come and talk about it, give you the opportunity to read through them. The management letter kind of details some of the challenges with reviewing the financial statements, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Okay. And also, we did, to let the public know, we did have that issue with the state. They did come back and say that we were out of compliance. And that's what we did, complete the paperwork, so that now, like Sylvia stated, that we will have an abatement. We do not know how much. There is a fine. We don't know, there's not spoken of the amount of the fine. So we'll wait for that, but they did accept the abatement form application and giving us a break on that because of our audits being late. So that, we're pretty happy about that. Okay? Any other questions for the village manager? Mr. Linder, you want to talk about your sign?
Okay. You will notice that we have posted in all of our municipal buildings the signage the mayor is holding up, no guns allowed. With the passage of the conceal and carry, we're posting it so people can understand it. And these buildings, if you have a conceal and carry purpose, you may not conceal and carry your weapon inside of the village facilities.
Thank you. All right. Mayor's report. Mayor's report in the community, keeping integrity, honesty, and transparency. On January through February, there will be well, we talked about, I don't want to be redundant, the culture of the audits. And they stated that also, that there's a new process that's going on, that every town will have to be current with their audits and they'll be reported for accountability. On December, there was a first session of the comprehensive plan presentation. We were all here, and it's a follow-up of January 8th and tonight. And I look forward to everyone please participating in that. This is very, very important for your input. We care about what you have to say. December 30th, the South Suburban Black Mayors extended a program for you to continue the work. Unfortunately, the funds will be limited. As you see, we have one here tonight. I think there's going to be approximately 3 employees per this village, but we're not sure about that yet. December 30th, Mr. Jones and I processed our photos with a special agent from the state of Illinois. There are another requirement from the IBG, the Illinois Gaming Board. The applications include our backgrounds, which were cleared, thank God. And they took our photos at the golf course and the golf course surroundings. And they're waiting, I think, I'm not sure if they did Mr. Blockham's yet. They completed. And that will go before their board by January 23rd for their approval. So we're still not there yet until we get the approval in January 23rd. In spite of the bad weather, we had a committee and commission party. Thank you, Ms. Childers, for that. On January 7th, I-57 was held at IDOT Robinson Engineers, as they said, and he just stated, that we can't make the levy, we will, looks good for us to make the April levy this year for the I-57 project, January 7th. Also, the South Suburban area managers, the topic was the roads and transportations. And we've been granted funding, and hopefully we're working with IDOT there is a grant out there for $1.6 million, working towards that we could not have to make a match with this last project. So until that comes to fruition, we won't really know. We'll let you know about that. January 9th, there was a conference called White House Capitalization of Discipline Initiatives, Education Excellence for African Americans. This was due to the stats that were reported on our schools nationwide, that this decision was a new compiled guideline procedure for all schools to follow. They stressed mentoring as well. Also, the Department of Education, Department of Civil Rights, and Department of Justice was there in attendance on this conference call. This is basically a guideline that they want all schools to abide by, because it's not so much as, well, Dr. Hall was here and said there's not so much a dropout rate, it's more of a discipline problem. And I didn't realize so many was incarcerated or had court orders because of these things going to court, because of disparate treatment. Now that we're being current with our audits and demonstrating financial stability, we can now do the paperwork and go forward to our PACE process in the United States. Well, they call the United States has offered us the VPO, which is the Village Post Office. Those haven't been pursued because of our budget, our audits. So now we can turn in the paperwork, which I've completed with Mr. Lanier and Mr. Jones. January 13th, I did speak to Family Dollar headquarters about the service. I know a lot of people have complained that we have one person there, it's a backlog. So we're working to make sure that that's better. And also, GSU, we're going to sponsor here in University Park, and we're going to actually put that out in plenty of time. There's going to be an airport meeting on the South Suburban Airport. We talked to them. They have a resource center in Park Forest, and they will tell you about jobs, how to be certified, how to be promoted for this, but they're actually not going to compile everything until at least 4 years. So hopefully our children will see this airport. And to let you know too, I'm really excited about University Park and where we're going and how we're doing it. We are a diamond in the rough. We're excited about what's happening with all the other mayors. University Park is the nucleus, as I said earlier, and we should work together and make things happen. I also have been looking out for job announcements, which I will share, and they'll be in the back. There's going to be a job fair January 27th at Angus Gym, 2651 South Central Park Avenue, and at noon till 5. Bring your resumes to the Little Village community, and that's here, and I have it. And I have some in the back for you. And my report will be available to the village residents if you want to see that, and I'll leave copies of that as well. Okay? I'm sorry. Report. Sure. I have something for you. Okay, and that's the end of my report. Community and commission reports at this time.
I got a report. I'll just piggyback over what Ernest from Robinson Engineering said.
you. We will miss the March levy, which will be there for April. We should be an April levy. And finally, after, 12 years, we're going forward. They should start breaking ground, and so you should, soon you should start seeing the ramps, the entrance and exit ramps on I-57. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Just like to announce that this Wednesday, which is tomorrow, the 15th, we're going to have a Finance Committee meeting at Village Hall at 7, from 7 to 8:30. So that's this Wednesday, tomorrow, essentially. You can see this from 7 to 8:30. Also, I know that the Human Services and Special Events Committee met on Saturday. Do you have anything you want to report? Chairman Travis, Robert Travis, come on. We did not meet the Educational Advisory Committee yet. I just didn't get the notice out on time. I'll take full responsibility. But it will meet the second Monday of next month, February. Mr. Travis.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Mayor, happy evening, everyone. The Human Services Special Events Committee will submit activity schedules to the board in the next few weeks. But we're going to cover the same activities. We're going to have the carnival and the concert and the Thanksgiving dinner, which we spend our money for, and the coat drive. And we're going to have 2 job fairs. Because I want to let you know that these things will happen this year as it did last year. Thank you very much.
Excuse me. I would like, I had some meetings that have been busy all the time, I've been off work. And here's a check from one of our legislators for Hudson. She said she would like to give you this for the Thanksgiving feast. Check for $200. You can give it. Put in your budget.
Thank you very much.
I guess I need to report this. I promised, I said on the previous, that I would report for Trustee Williams and her love for the overpass. That's something that we talked earlier about, and that is going to be happening, but it's not that's something for IDOT especially to do, and they have a budget to do that. And University Park, I'm happy to announce that we just received a grant, some more funding for one of our reconstruction crossings, Crawford. So we're going to come constantly there for those meetings to make sure. And there's another project with IDOT, Robson Engineers, that we've been granted $1.6 million. So we're looking to work that project so that the University Park will not have to do a match, that we can have IDOT, we're talking to IDOT right now to see if they would take the whole part of it, and we wouldn't have to have a match too.
So, man, what did I not say?
We cannot, that's not something for the village itself, that's a state project, as far as the bridge. So we can just tell them what we need, and like you said, there's gonna be a cluster, and I did express that with them, so they said they'll be working with that. Try to do something about the lighting. Okay. Any other committee commissions at this report of other officers?
Hey, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mayor, I wanted to piggyback on what you were saying about Family Dollar. I was a store manager for Family Dollar for 3 years.
You might.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board of Trustee members. I was a family member, a Family Dollar store manager for 3 years, and we had the sales for the Family Dollar store was at $1.6 million. Now, I know that when Family Dollar started to dismiss store managers, they already been through 3 store managers at that Family Dollar. So when they start to dismiss store managers, they looking at that the store manager isn't doing all that they can to bring profit into the store. So when they start doing that, that means that the store is not doing so good, you know. So I just wanted to, you know, bring that, you know, to your attention, that, you know, and it could be due to shoplifting, you know, because like I said, the sales at the store that I was at, that I managed, was at 1.6 million per year.
Well, actually, he said that we are over the average that we thought we
Is
did.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing better than he had estimated us to do.
Okay,
So
that's
we
good.
just need more customer service there, because one person cannot handle the store.
Exactly.
And that's what we're
Right.
looking at. But yeah, he said that he feels that what he had already scheduled, we would, the funds we would make, is a little bit more than he estimated. So we're doing a lot better than we thought.
Okay, good.
Prescription, 1.5 million.
All right.
That was a projection.
And another comment that I wanted to make too is that with the Federal Club Estates, that street that they actually redid, I'm a little concerned about that street because that street has a crack in the middle. And I know that we, Federal Club Estates received, you know, money to actually get, you know, to take care of that property, you know, within there. And I wanted to, you know, I don't know if Robinson Engineers or someone is here to actually comment on about that street, but that street has a crack, and I know that with the snow and things like that, you know, that could actually, you know, get bigger or, you know, cause a problem, you know, so we need to maybe have someone come back and actually take a look at that street. I would think so.
So no, that.
I mean, the president of, you know, of our, I see that she's, you know, out there, so, Federal Club State, so, you know, maybe she can make a comment too on that. I don't know if she noticed that or not, but.
Yes, sure.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, Trustees, residents. I'm glad we finally got the street done. However, I got a call into engineering, Robinson Engineering, to take a look at it. It's like a glaze of ice constantly. It shines. I don't know if it's because it's a new road and it's the winter time. In addition, thank you for finally digging us out. We were snowed in, the cul-de-sacs. However, when they came in with the backhoe, they damaged the new street and they damaged a lot of mailboxes and driveways. So I'll give another call about that. But I do have a call in to Robinson Engineering about the street. Thank you.
Thank you. He is here tonight. Thank you. Any of the officers? Board secretary? Yes.
Just a bit of information for residents and young people 17 years and older when it comes to registering and voting. I received a letter from the county clerk's office and wanted to make everybody aware that effective January 1st of 2014, any 17-year-old person who will turn 18 by November 4th of 2014, who would be eligible to vote in the general election. They can also register now and vote in any March primary elections. So there have been some significant changes to try and, you know, energize and motivate our young people. So just to let you know that if you're 17 now and will turn 18 by November 4th, you can register now and vote in the March primary election. Thank you.
Thank you. Which other officers?
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and residents of University Park. Happy New Year. Just want to let you all know that our first youth basketball game will be on Saturday, January 25th at Creek-Monique Dome. We encourage the residents as well as the board members to come out and support the young people. The first game will start at 12 noon. Special thanks to Robertson's Engineers. If the residents have not and did not know, Hickok now has a new bridge. It is beautiful. So I want to especially take this opportunity to thank Robertson's Engineers, Ernest, for doing an outstanding job in making sure that the bridge is up. So we look forward to the summertime. Also, the second phase of that project, through that grant, we'll be working on the sidewalks over at Creek-Monique Middle School. So it'll go from the parking lot of the middle school over by the football field, so that way it'll be a sidewalk. As well as the third part of that will be a flashing license and training materials for the staff over at Coretta Scott King. So again, thank you so much.
Anyone else? Report?
I'll report during the meeting.
Okay. Any other department updates? At this time, it is now 7:40, and we do 30-minute general public. If you are not called at this time, we will consider it and do the first one for the next one. We'll do this in a 30-minute interval, and we'll have everyone speak for 3 minutes apiece. And if we do not get back with you, we will do it in writing, or we'll make an appointment to meet with you. The submissions, please? Okay. At this time, the attorney will read the clause.
Is it just a statement? Yes, sir. Okay, I can do that. This is a comment forum, and if response is necessary, board members may elect to respond formally at the next regular board meeting. Board members also historically, if they wanted to, could comment during their portion of the meeting, but they're not required to. Respectfully and orderly is our methodology.
Ms. Laverne Williams? Laverne Williams?
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, staff, residents. My name is Laverne Williams, and I'm the chairperson of the Plan Commission, and I'm requesting, I'm assuming that this would be my assignment. If I'm overstepping, I apologize. But we would like the community to take part in the survey because the village is performing, redoing their comprehensive plan. I'm not very good at speaking. Sharice, you should have done this for me.
I would have.
I know. Anyway, we're updating our comprehensive plan, and we need the community, please, please, please go online, Plan University Park, and complete a survey. We have until January 31st to complete the survey, so we can do an awesome job in updating, renovating, renewing, planning our village. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Sandra Warren.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, staff, and general public. I have a question and a concern about the GED class, and I've talked to Trustee Williams about it. Attempted to FOIA it so I would have the information tonight. But it appears that the village does not have any information on the GED participants. The number of participants, the age of the participants. We just need the statistics since We are paying for it. And we'd like to know the number of people in the class and the number of people who have completed the class. It is my understanding that there is a request to spend more money on the second semester, which would start sometime this month. I have a printout for you from the Star, and it says, Prairie State offers free ESL, that's English as a second language, and GED classes. And as we know, those classes are free at Prairie State. We have free compulsory education here in the United States. People who are in primary and secondary education, they do have free education. But adults who, for whatever reason, did not complete high school, I don't think it's the village's responsibility, and it's certainly not a good use of funds for us to pay for a GED class when people can get this free service by going to Prairie State and other sites. The money could be better used for snow removal and other things. We're already paying for our tax dollars. If you look at your real estate tax bill, you are paying for Crete-Monee, taxes to Crete-Monee, and Prairie State, as well as the library. So I don't think our funds should go to a, quote, special class for people who, for whatever a reason, aged 20 to 65 or 70, did not finish school. That is not the village's responsibility to provide funds for a GED class. In my opinion, and I would like to see the Education Advisory Committee do a survey of folks in the village who have degrees and see if they would be interested in helping this village move forward. Thank you.
Keep around for that. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Can't hear you. Mike.
The key word that you used was they were free at Prairie State. This is University Park, and the students want to learn here in University Park. If they can walk here, they can, because they live here, right? But the key word that were free at Prairie State.
It's for the Spanish.
Okay, Mr. Rouse, keep Rouse.
I have the article of the past.
Mr. Keith Rouse, it's time for you to come up, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Trustees. I'm speaking about the Liaison Committee and the attorney fees. At this point, attorney fees are approximately $251,000, knowing that in this town, in good faith, can't afford this amount of money. There should be a contracted reduced rate, not simply an agreement to represent. The mayor has been asking for this for some time. It needs to be addressed and done. The letter to the governor state regarding the liaison to President Elaine Mayman exemplifies blatantly that there are partial political politics going on between certain trustees who have requested this letter and the attorney's office. Is this why the attorney budget seems to be expensive and extravagant for this town? Plus, you're paid by the town unless the four trustees want to pay you out of their pockets. Ethically, you're supposed to be impartial to your fiduciary responsibility is for the town and not for backdoor politics or to advise and assist board members with their political aspirations, at least not on the village budget. Remember, it's the people's money. It certainly should not be used to criticize Mayor Covington's integrity or her intentions for our town's progress to officers at Governor State College. I am sure $251,000 can be used for other purposes, perhaps 2014 Thanksgiving dinner, summer concerts, carnivals, back-to-school activities, new vehicles and equipment for snow removal, police and fire vehicles and equipment, park and recreation, youth crime prevention, sports activities for teens 15 and over, and educational assistance and grants, etc. Village Manager, Mr. Lanier, this should not be on the agenda at all, since it was just an attack on the mayor, which you happen to work for. Mr. Lanier, maybe your efforts should be focusing on developing a better strategy with our Public Works Director, Mr. Burgess, in regards to our many snow removal safety issues and pothole management for University Parkway West near the train station, and job development for members in our community, since every town around us is progressing at a faster rate than we are. Thank you.
Mr. Robert Travis?
Again, good evening, Mayor and Board of Trustees. I have a concern this village has been doing for quite some time. It's a lack of participation in these events, like the comprehensive plan, which only had 8 people there. And there are other events last year which we didn't have a lot of people in. I don't know if we have bad communications or not. I don't know what it is. I think we need to ramp up in this area. Also, I'd like to know that last year it was mentioned that they're going to reconstruct the committees, and I'd like to know what the target date is at for, when we're going to do that. And I also like to know that I think we need to let people know that even though the mayor did not appoint you as committee members, you can still attend the committee meetings. All right? Thank you very much.
Mary Ann Alexander Griffin.
Mayor Covington, board members, trustees. My name is Mary Ann Alexander Griffin. I would like to address my comments tonight to the attorney. Attorney Diamond, as a resident of UP for over 33 years, I want to personally apologize for the conduct and verbal attack you encountered in the last board meeting. It was embarrassing and very mean-spirited. I hope this will never happen again to anyone who has the opportunity to be on the board. As far as your salary is concerned, it is well known that you pay for what you get. It's not about quantity, it's about the quality of the work. I wish you all a happy new year, and I'm grateful for the time.
Thank you much. Deborah Taylor, please.
Good evening, everybody, all village officials. Happy New Year to you, happy 2014. Prayerfully, this will be a new, different, better, more favorable year for all of us in this board. I submitted a letter to the village officials over the holiday break. I hope that many of you received that letter. I had numerous concerns written in that letter about the December 10th meeting, which sparked many questions for me. I'm not going to read the letter because it is lengthy, but I would appreciate having a response, either verbally from this board, because I think that the village residents as well as myself are worthy of that, or I would prefer to have that in writing as well. Once again, there were just many questions based on the content of that meeting on December 10th. The other thing that I want to address is that I understand that certain village officials had concerns about the property at the Russet Oak Townhomes. We do have a president of our Russet Oak Townhomes. Liz Williams is our president. I understand there were inquiries about the snow situation in our area. I thank you for that. All I can say to that is it's about time. So if there is an inquiry about that, I think our president is more than capable of answering that unless we have a particular person that has been listed as the liaison for our town association. I think it should be addressed to our president. Also, not only with the snow removal being an issue, yes, that is an issue in our area and has been since I have been in the area, which is 17 years, so that's nothing new. That's why I say it's about time. But there's also another issue for the police chief to know about if he doesn't already know. And it is not only in our area, I'm sure it's throughout University Park, but I hear it a lot. There are issues of safety and violence. We do hear gunshots regularly in the Russell Town Home Association area. We do call in about it. If you check, you will find out through the dispatcher that there are frequent phone calls, especially in the summer, but as late as last week, we heard it again. There are gunshots that go off at 12, midnight, 2 in the morning, and one time in the late summer, we heard something at 6 o'clock in the evening. This needs to be dealt with. It's random shooting. It needs to be dealt with. It needs to be addressed. I don't know if our new police chief is aware of safety zone cameras. That's all I wanted to mention, because perhaps safety zone cameras would be a good idea at this point in time before someone gets hurt. Several years ago, a young man was found in Craig Park, fatally shot. Thank you.
Thank you. David Savier? David Savier.
Happy New Year, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and residents. I'm going to attempt this for the third time in my 9 years of being in University Park. This was kind of directed toward the attorney, because you may understand what I'm about to say to the board, because I've said this to them in the past and to some board members. Is it possible for us to pass 2 ordinances to change the fiscal year and the budget years to 18 months over the next 4 years? And the reason why I'm making that recommendation is that is the only way we're going to get these audits caught up. At the time that I first brought it to the board, I asked them to do it over a 2-year period, but since we're so far out now, it needs to be done over a 4-year period. And what I mean by that is simply this. We just finished fiscal year 2009. So if you take a look at fiscal year 2010, you were to change the ordinance to an 18-month annual year, it would start May 1, 2009 and end October 30th, 2010. The next year, you would start with November 1, 2010 and take you to April 30th, 2012, which now you've taken care of 3 years. The next year, you come out with May 1, 2012, and that would take you through October 31st, 2013. And that final year would take you from November 1, 2013, all the way to April 2015, which means by next year, all your audits will be up to date and current if those ordinances are actually done, and for the budget as well as for the ordinance. And the reason why you can do it is this is not something that's never been done before. It's been done in other communities. The reason why you can do it is because the year is already done. All you're doing is adding a half a year to a year, taking a half a year off, and moving forward. You just got a new auditing firm. That should have been the first thing on the table. That engagement letter should have been for 18 months, not for just a 2-year period or 1 or 2 audits out of that 2 years. It should have been an 18-month period. That way you can get these audits done. Other than that, based on the experience and the fact that you have less experience and history in that finance department, this is the only way to get those audits up to date. Once again, this is my 3rd time trying to bring this to this board, and I hope you hear me, and I'm saying this to the attorney because I want you to let them understand that that is a legal process.
Well, let me briefly respond. My initial view of that is that even as a home rule community, we could not do that. The appropriation ordinance and the tax levy ordinance are key documents in this state. They all relate to a 12-month fiscal year. I don't see the benefit of doing it. I really would appreciate if you would write a letter to me telling me why you think this would be beneficial. From my view, these past situations are being corrected. The auditing firm is doing it, and I don't see any benefit. And my initial view would be, even though we're a home rule community, this would create serious problems in terms of our ability to properly levy taxes.
Okay, and I will give that to you in writing, but in terms of that But as far as the benefit, it would help expedite getting the audits done. And the reason why I'm stating that is because with the lack of an experienced staff in there who knows what those transactions were, that's why it's so difficult to get the audits done now. Because some people say they can't find things because they don't know where they're at. So those are the type of situations you run into. In terms of that being done in other communities, legally, you can check. I can give you one town in particular. South Village just done it 2 years ago. In terms of the board has the right
A community is allowed to change its fiscal year. We've done that in cases where a community has made a mistake. But the ability to say a fiscal year is now going to be 18 months is something that is unknown to me. But please write to me and we'll take a look at it.
That's all the county will allow.
Okay. Ms. Annie Ward.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a nice holiday. My question first is directed to Mr. Burgess, Mr. Lanier, and to all the trustees, the ones that's working for our community. I would like to know what happened to the snow removal, because around my area, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was, no salt was put down. University Parkway, that incline, you couldn't get up. You were sliding back down or sliding across. It was like no salt or very little salt. Also, and that goes for not just University Parkway, that was for other streets also. Sandra Drive, those streets was horrible. That was the most horrible snow removal I've ever seen, even though it's been like 4 years. My second concern is directed toward Trustee Oscar Brown, and this is about the meeting on December the 10th. And it's regarding the letter that was written by the attorney. And in that letter, there was some insulting connotations that was directed toward our mayor, to which she defended herself. And you apologized to the attorney on her behalf. Now, in my opinion, your apology should have been to the attorney for putting him in that situation to write that letter. And to you, attorney, you being an attorney, you should have known better not to agree to write a letter like that. It was not your place, and you were out of position in writing that letter. You didn't even give the mayor the consideration to let her know that you were writing the letter. Once again, it's my opinion only. You, sir, I think you owe her an apology. And Mayor Covington, to you, I commend you for not letting anyone publicly stab you in the back. I say to you, go girl. My last statement is to Mr. Lanier and Trustee Udez. On the 26th, I asked you a question regarding employment at the dining room of the golf course, to which I'm still waiting for an answer. Maybe I didn't ask the right question. Not to take anything from Mr. McCullough, but according to the bio in his paper, his expertise lies in hospitality and business management. I see no experience in restaurants or anything pertaining to food. I would like to have an answer. I do thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
The last one of tonight will be Annie Ward.
Ms. Ward. Ms. Ward, I say to you today, I make no apologies for apologizing to our attorney. Our attorney is a fair and decent man from the little that I know about him. He's an expert in municipal law. As I've said on previous occasions, as I've said on previous occasions, if I need to know something about municipal law, I would look to his books that he's written to give me a head start rather than going straight to the statute. There's no call for any one of us to accuse anybody that sits around this table of being a racist. None, period. And it doesn't matter what he wrote. The letter, respectful. It informs Dr. Mayman, hopefully we'll be passing this ordinance tonight, that there's going to be a new way of operating in the Village University Park. Not once did it disrespect the mayor, not once did it say, hey, look, you don't meet with the mayor anymore. It said nothing like that. And finally, he has been totally neutral. I've had personal discussions with him where I gave my opinion on things, and he would tell me that that's not the role of a municipal attorney. I was actually thinking I should attend one of Ansel Glick, Diamond Bush, I think it's Kafer and somebody else. I can't remember the last one. I should attend one of his sessions so I can figure out what his secret is, because it must be some sort of magic that he works to remain as neutral as he does. So I will never, ever, ever take back that apology. He deserved it. He deserves better. He is respected in his field, and there's no way that he's a racist. So no, I'll never take that back.
Thank you. This is the last one. The other two, Mr. Reese Williams and Ms. Deborah Strauss, we will have to do it the next board meeting because we're at about 30 minutes and Pastor Williams is the last one to do it this time.
My name was on the list.
We don't have a card.
My name was on the
Reverend
list.
Wilson.
My name was on the list.
We will do it at the next.
My name was on the list. In chronological order. My name was on the list.
Excuse me, Reverend, please.
Good evening, Madam
Yeah, good evening.
Chair, trustees, officials. I'm Reginald Williams, Jr., proud pastor of First Baptist Church of University Park. And I have standing here with me two of my members, Eric and Karen Haskell. Yesterday at 9:13 Black Hawk, two young people were shot. One is alive and needs much medical attention. The other right now, as we speak right here, is fighting for his life. One is the son of a member of the church that I'm privileged to pastor. One is Karen's and Eric's son. The other is not. However, I consider myself to be pastor not only for First Baptist Church, but for the entire village. So whether it happens to a member or not, it still happened and needs to be addressed. So I rise not to play the blame game or to implicate anybody, but I rise to challenge the village and the citizens therein to make our young folks a priority.
Yes.
One person shot is too many shot. One person shot is too many shot, and it's unacceptable. We can argue all day long about why it happened. We can argue all day long about who did what, who shot John or whatever. We can even look down our nose at those who did it. But if we do that, I think we miss this moment. I wonder how many of us have reached out to try to talk to the young folks in our university park. How many of us have had a conversation with young folks in the university park? I'm not just talking about those who play football and baseball and basketball, but 15 and up. Or do we just run the other way when we see our children and young people because they got sagging pants or cocked hats? They want the same things we want. They want to be successful. They want to have 3 square meals and the security of food, shelter, and clothing. But many feel abandoned, and many see no opportunities, no jobs, no places for recreation and proper development. So when there is nothing to do, whether we like it or not, we're going to find something to do.
Yes.
We wonder why we have to be violent, but if we think about it, it's a cry for help and assistance. It's a cry to be heard, and it's a cry to be appreciated. And the sooner we see that, the better off we will be. Are we just content to say that it's a shame, or are we pissed off enough to do something about it that provides a better life and opportunities for young people in University Park? Football and baseball are good. The work that the park and recreation programs are doing is good, but it's not enough. Recreation and skills training that lead to vocation and other forms of development are needed. So the question is, what do we want to do? Or the question is, do we want to stop the violence, or do we want to just lower numbers? Because if we want to stop the violence, we can do it. How? We can readjust our priorities and policies that we make right here, ordinances that we pass, to find a way to offer opportunities. If we can put up a golf course then can't we do some type of recreational center where kids can play and prepare for the future?
All right.
What are we doing to build relationships with those who we walk with and walk by day after day? Or have we given up on them? Or have we given up on ourselves? Through our actions, we ought to make sure that this is the last shooting. They washed the blood away at 913 Blackhawk, but that same blood cries out from the ground right now, asking us, what are we going to do? We cannot afford to just do business as usual. One youth shot is one too many. One youth in critical condition is one youth too many. Madam Mayor, trustees, I urge you, I plead with you, not only I, but members of First Baptist who are here standing with Eric and Karen, urge you not only to balance budgets, but make a priority of young bodies and minds of our young people in this village. If we have begun to do it, the stuff we've begun to do is great, but it's not enough. I stand ready and willing as the proud pastor of First Baptist Church to do what we can to assist in this effort. Not only with the governmental affiliations, but we're going to the streets. And we're going to talk to those who we can look down on and make them away for our own young folks. I've done it even this summer, going out to the park and just sitting and talking with them. Let's do it now before it gets out of control. This ought to be the last shooting. Let's do it now. We can't do the same things and expect different results. We do it now because the blood from the ground demands it of us. And so I close with the words of Karen, who was one of the victim's mother. I asked her, is there anything she would like me to tell the man trustees this evening? She said these words, get something for the young folks to do. Make them a priority. Things won't change until we're mad enough and fed up enough. The actions of this village will answer whether each of those is true, or whether we will have to wait until it happens to us or our immediate loved ones to make us angry enough. I know someone who was angry enough on the village board already, Ruth Eggs, because it happened to his son. What can we do right here to change ordinances and policies so that this is the last shooting? And I know the agenda says that you all may wait till the next meeting to respond, but I think this mother deserves a response today as to what some things you all would do.
You took away the
As the mayor of the university, please,
Officer, please. Can you all order? Our chief of police. Chief of police, could you help us please here?
I'm going to the bathroom.
Chief, could you please help us?
You see the officers walking over.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Esmere University Park. This summer, we had a youth program that all of African American mayors got together, and unbeknown to you and maybe some other people, there were 36 children here that I met with every Friday. Every Friday we met, we talked about issues, things that were going on, and I agree with you totally. I would like to see, like I've seen in other villages, a blotter, a police blotter. Yes. To let us see exactly what's happening, who's getting shot, because I haven't got an extensive report yet as of what happened the last evening.
I got a report as
No,
of
sir.
what happened yesterday?
No, sir. I just heard that it was 2 people shot. Okay, so, and I think that I should have a blotter. And we should see, the residents should see what house has been broken into. I get them on a regular basis. People calling me, talking about people, the kids on Blackhawk. One young lady is a mentor, Miss Paula, told us, the lady that got shot, she was saying the kids were screaming and they called her and the mom couldn't get in there. They're petrified. They cannot walk around the street to go to school. And those 36 children that met with me, I asked them, where were they? What are you doing? They said, we're too afraid to come out because of the kids out here. I asked for a plan of what we're going to do in this village, how we're going to run with these children. I personally am working with the children. I talked to one today. We're going to start working back here. If we don't have a facility, we can make this a youth center. Until we can build something, we could use this. We could get volunteers to come in here, and that's my plan, is to get with your help in the other churches. I know the other churches are doing things for young people. I've seen them down at God's Nation. I've seen them at your church. I've seen them at Miller Chapel. They are doing, but we
need to get together as a whole, and anybody in this village that would like to participate and volunteer, we will get together and make some type of understanding of education, of training, and love. A lot of it is just love. We have children at the library right now, unbeknown to a lot of people also, that sit there because they're afraid to go home in fear of somebody breaking in on them. The break-ins are up and high. They don't, it's not told to anyone, but we do, again, need to have a blotter. So like they have in other villages, 1915, broken in, the person's name, what they did. We need to get that to the residents. Residents need to see so they can be aware. They need to know. We have a lot of elderly, we have a lot of single people living in homes. Children should not be afraid, and that's what they told me. They're afraid to walk down these streets, and that shouldn't be.
I totally agree with the blotter and all of that. So
But
it's not a but, it's an and.
Yes.
We also institutionalize and do ordinances, whatever we need to do to make sure that there are opportunities available.
Exactly.
Because if you're busy, some stuff ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
Right? But this mother deserves that, every mother in the village deserves that, this father deserves that.
That's right.
To have that institutionalized so that in addition to, of course, the crime that does happen, that other things can be done to make sure in terms of our passing the budgets. I know we want to do economic development, but a village without healthy children is not a healthy village.
Exactly, and that I can tell you, we're going to work diligently. I will ask this board to have a special meeting and make a plan, and ask you to, thank you, sir, thank you. And I know all of them will pitch in, and we will work on some type of solution. We don't have the answers today, tonight, but we will have you to come in, the other churches, and sit down and help our babies. Because this is for the 2040. It's for our babies. It's all about the kids. It's not about us. It is about the children. We need to help them groom themselves so they can be qualified for particular jobs. Keep them in school, so get the mentorship. I mentor at the school, high school. We have a thing, and I ask that all the time. Each one bring one. Bugs, each one bring one. Bring it upgrade successfully. How many of us go to school board meetings? Let's work with the schools as well. We need to bring them in and see what the issues are too, because a lot of it is rooting from our school system. So we will sit together with Mr. Lanier and get a date with you and the churches and sit down and make some type of understanding how we need to work with our babies, how we need to keep them safe, and what else we can do. And my condolences to both the parents and Mr. Rouse as well. No, I mean, I'm talking about of the fear, I'm sorry, I mean the sympathy of the illnesses that happened. And to Mr. Rouse, his son was killed at Craig Park. He's not here to tell it. So he knows the violence, I know. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm talking my son. He's not here, but unfortunately, and I applaud to you that we will do the best we can. We will, I promise you, we will make that meeting happen.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
In response to Pastor Williams, I would just like to let you guys know that there is a technical resource center that we've been talking about over the last year or so, couple of years or so, that is finally overcome the political things that stopped it as you guys exit to the left. It's under construction right now. And we will invite you to a meeting so we can see what kind of participation we can have in there and let you guys know what the plan is, because I definitely know the blotters are fine and everything, but the kids need hands-on things. Everybody's not football, baseball, basketball. They need job training. They need a variety of other things. And we would ask you right now for your assistance as we prepare that resource center. And we're going to look for an early spring opening on that.
Trustee.
Pastor Williams, thank you for your comments. Let me just share with you, and I think I've done this in the past. When Mayor Covington was elected, we ran together, we came forth with a budget to actually do something. And I have a summary of the kinds of things because from a philosophical standpoint, as a practical standpoint, as you mentioned, all kids don't play football, all of them don't play basketball. So we came up with a budget for these kinds of programs for our kids. An academic Olympic team for make our kids proud to be smart. Information technology juniors, a golf team, a gymnastic team, a cheer squad, martial arts program, junior achievement so kids can learn how to do business, to start development of a boys and girls club, an intergenerational arts and crafts program so we can work with our senior citizens and work with our kids. Community, the Jewels program, which continues now, where Parks and Rec Department is working with young ladies, teen girls, where they had a grant before and they lost the grant, but they continued the program. The Kids Health Club that we started here, we ran out of money, so we'll be getting together to start redoing that. A drum and bugle corps, a band and orchestra program, a choir group, a Toastmasters, a freestyle dance crew, and if we go forward, I'd be happy to teach them stepping, okay? And then we would scholarship some of these kids. Now, we put this in the budget. One of the most important things, I think, and you mentioned it, when there's time, is to make sure that there's somebody there that can serve as a role model for the kids. There's no sense in arguing and complaining about the structure of the family in the black community, because it's just not like it was 50, 75 years ago. It's different. So the kids need a role model. So the budget provided for an annual stipend for an instructor, similar to what you would do in the high school. So you have a coach, you pay them maybe an extra $5,000 a year, and there's money in there for refreshments, for travel, and so forth. That was all put in there. This was, of course, we had a lot of criticism for putting in there by saying that this unbalanced the budget, but it was a focus, it was a priority to get something done. Now, what was done? Almost nothing. Because when we took office, our financial state was so bad, and the amount of time that the village manager had to spend correcting things, he was not able to implement any of this. But I think when we have this special meeting, that we need to go back and take a look at this.
And I would just say, all of those programs that you listed were absolutely great and absolutely awesome. I would just say, not only for age group up to age like 15, because that was like most of them. You also have a group that is right out of high school, maybe junior college, or maybe they're going, and that's a very, very important age demographic as well, that needs something positive and something. So as you're expanding that, I would just ask that you would keep that in mind as well. But thank you for your response, and thank you for.
What we will do also, we will try to recruit everyone in the village to send out a blast of education. We will contact, and the resources is with outreach. There is a organization at Governor State, and they were willing, it's a blast of young people that are reaching out. They have a consortium. I've talked to you about a consortium. There is a consortium over at Governor State that we meet and we talk, and they have an outreach organization there. They work with our park and recs, and they're willing to do whatever they can. This outreach, this consortium is very, very powerful. So I will make sure that you meet them, and I'll have them as a part of this, to work this out. We got to all work it out to see where we need to go, but there's no positive answer to it, okay? So again, whatever we can do, let us know. Ma'am. I'm sorry, sir.
Yes. First, Karen, I'm very sorry about what happened to the side. If there's anything that you need to do, this come down to the house. So I'm not going to be there for the next few days. I'm going to take care of my girlfriend. She just had an operation, but whatever I can do to help out, I'll do what I can. As far as policy goes, I have to say I do agree with Trustee Rudez. That was something that I did campaign on. We all campaigned on getting a technical resource center done, and I intend fully now work on it, and I'll have some extra motivation to get that done. We've also taken steps. I believe part of the problem is employment opportunities within the village. One of the things that we have done is we have passed a head tax that encourages our industrial base that we kind of talked about a little earlier to hire more of our residents by giving them a lower rate, and that part of all those employees who are from the Village University Park. That's something that we could do. We had discussions before about a quote minority or local hiring ordinance to promote businesses within the villages. I believe if you had a contract with the village, you would have to have a 25% just local participation. So I think those are some things that we need to put our focus on. I know sometimes in this village we get a little distracted on the petty things and simple slights, but we will do our best to try and look past that and do some things that'll move the village forward in the correct fashion. Also, if you ever have any suggestions or something that I could bring, I'll do what I can. I have that kind of focusing on water and that stuff. And got a couple of other things on my plate, but I will do what I can, and I can guarantee that the technical resources in the way is something I'll work very hard.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Excuse me,
Yes, sir.
excuse me, just could I answer some things of concerns?
Yes, sir.
Again, I'm sorry about what happened. I talked to you the other night, and invited you to come up and speak with me about this matter. Feel free to bring with you, sit down and say some things I will share with you that I won't share with other people here or out there. That it was your son. I agree with a lot of things that Reverend said. I think that we also, unless I missed it, nobody talks about the parents of some of the children that we're concerned with that may be at risk. We have to get those parents involved too, I think, and I didn't hear anybody say anything about that, but like a lot of people always say, where are the parents? We're all working diligently on this situation, getting some very positive results. We're moving forward, and like I said, come up there and feel free to sit down and talk with us. A lot of people perceive University Park, because it's a predominantly African-American community, as this bedlam of crime. You would think that the way people are talking here. I'm happy to announce that we've had significant reduction in crime over the last year, significant reduction. And also I want to remember the kids that are doing the right thing. I ain't hear anything said about them. We have a lot of wonderful kids here in University Park. They do the right thing all the time. They have great challenges too. They're doing the right thing. As a matter of fact, I was late tonight because Ms. Childress had told me about, again, we talked about sports team, but she had a girls basketball team that's going out of town that's representing University Park and Creek-Monteith High School, and they're going to Connecticut or
Virginia.
Virginia. They did real well. They went out of town a couple of weeks ago, and I was late tonight because I had went and raised some money to pay for some of their hotel rooms and things like that. I think it's important that we encourage, our young people and support them. And, all the wonderful things that everybody's talking about doing, I'm on board with all of that. But we can't forget the ones that are doing the right things in the meantime, and encourage them also. And yeah, we want to do some things for our kids that may be at risk or maybe they've lost hope or something like that. But again, we had a significant reduction in crime over the last year. I think that's very positive for University Park, and we need to get those positive aspects out there too. If we're talking about bringing businesses here and want people to look at University Park and come here and spend a couple $1 million. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go on. Can I say something? I'm sorry. My name is Eric Haskell.
Yes, sir.
Again, my son was shot last night. But community, it's not, we can't just leave it up to them. It's us too.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? We have to stop arguing and bickering amongst ourselves.
Yes.
You never look at it until it happens at your front door. We always talked about Rudez and his son, but until it hits your front door, you don't know what it's like. We didn't know how he felt, but now we know how he feels. So the community has to come together. We can't keep looking at the police. My house was home invaded in November. My daughter was in there, 2 men walked in on it. Thank God that she asked them to leave and they left. The police did catch one of them. So I mean, it's us as a community. My pastor preaches every Sunday morning, do you know your neighbor?
Since I know them.
Do you know your neighbor? He says that we got to know our neighbors. We have to come together as a community and stop this. It's not just because my son got shot last night. Yeah, now it is. Because, again, I didn't know what it felt like when violence happens to somebody else's kid. But it happened to mine last night. Now I'm willing to do whatever it takes to stop it from happening to your child, or somebody else's child. I got a granddaughter that's just growing up. My pastor's daughter is scared to go to school because she's scared to get shot. Enough is enough, y'all. Us as a community, we have to come together. We can't rely on the police, the fire department, the mayor. We have to come together, each of us, stop this fighting, and come together and this team will be happy to take our communities.
Thank you.
I am just asking for 1 minute respectfully.
Go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I'm just asking for 1 minute respectfully from this board.
Okay.
Yeah. I do not want to prolong this. And again, I want to say I'm sorry again for what happened to your child. That pierced my heart. I teach high school. I've been a high school teacher for almost 19 years. I've been actually in the teaching profession for almost 29 years. That really pierces my heart. The one thing I want to say is when you talk about community, we as University Park, and this is just my opinion, we have not yet learned how to utilize and reach out and actually utilize all the resources we have in this village. There are many people here that are very well capable of moving programs, of putting together programs of integrity. We need to utilize persons that we know and teach others that may not know how to move programs of integrity forward. I, for one, have asked over and over again, and I'm going to bring your name out, Eddie, because I grew up in the theater. I have asked over and over again for the opportunity. I spoke with the mayor to bring forth programs because media is power to these children. Media is major. No matter what age, from 3 to 23, media is major. I have written explicit programs for these children. I have tried everything I can to move these programs for educational programs for our children in the preschool. I have written fitness programs. Am I lying, Eddie? You have seen them. Fitness programs. I just want you to know that we are here. We are asking. So same people can't do everything. Those who can and want to should. We give the opportunity. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor, I'm sorry, just because I'm from University Park, and by me growing up in University Park from infant to today, we didn't have these issues because we did have things to do. We had the Park Recreational Center, we had modern dance, we had tap dance, we had all type of programs. We had writing programs, we had, GED programs. We had all these different programs here in University Park that have gotten cut out. And this is before, and I believe majority of the people on the board other than Oscar were here in University Park as I was growing up. Not to tell my age, I'm still 16. However, with that said, it is imperative. And I challenge that individuals here are actually combating the GED program that Trustee Williams is bringing to University Park. They're combating it. And I understand because, if you don't understand and you have your education, you might not care about everyone else. Right. And you might not think that this may keep people off of the streets. You might not think that this may stop shooting. You might not think that this may stop violence inside of our community. But it in fact does and will. So I'm asking if we have individuals as capable as Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, I am challenging you to help us with the GED program. Please. We are begging you. We have begged for tutors. We have begged for many things. So since we could not get that, then we said, okay, we look for another avenue. Whatever the case, we need to educate our children. So with that, I'm not going to take up some more meeting. Please excuse me. I'm respecting seat, ma'am. Okay? So I'm just going to say, please, we need the help. We welcome the help. So with the GED program, we'll take it off the books if we can get the grant. We couldn't get the grant because we didn't have the audits done. We tried every avenue, but we just got to get it done, and then we can go from there. We just need to start. Thank you.
Okay, we will continue with our board meeting.
I'm sorry.
We have to go on with the board.
I just want us to come together with a comprehensive plan. Maybe we can do all of this together.
That's not fair either.
It's not?
I'm sorry, but we will announce it at the end.
I don't understand why we all can't work together. Babies are dying, and I can't even get anybody to work on the comprehensive plan.
Okay,
A discussion for the agenda. We will make that announcement, Mr. Burns. Discussion agenda, unfinished business, none. New business, first and second and third reading ordinance of authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of University Park and the Will County 911 Emergency Telephone System Board for the fundings of a 911 surcharge relocation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Rudez, second by trustee Griffin. Any questions, any concerns? Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Vote aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Mayor Covington, that is ordinance O 2014-01.
One here. Ordinance.
Mayor,
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we table this item
I second.
2B.
First, second, third reading on the electric, the ordinance authorizing execution of a contract for electrical services for 1 year with Hudson Energy Services. You would like to
Table, and ask them to come in front of the Legislative and Operations Committee. Table it for that purpose.
I second.
Excuse me, I have to understand something. This is a board issue as well. I mean, it's four of you on the board. We've had this, you've made a presentation, and you want to table it because...
Point of order, Madam Mayor.
I have the question.
Motion to table.
I have a question on the floor, sir. Question, because...
It's a motion to table.
No, it's not.
If there's
Okay.
if there's a
Second,
second,
is there a second?
I second.
Oh, okay. So that's, all right. There's a roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Nay.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Vote aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Okay. We've been waiting for this for 2 years. Okay. Resolution approving the right-of-way of purchases for the University Parkway project between Central Avenue and Governor's Highway. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Rudez, second by trustee Griffin? Yes. Okay. Questions? Concern? Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Vote aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Mayor Covington, that's resolution R 2014-01.
Thank you. The next one is, which I think is a little out of order. We got resolution confirming the assignment of the village manager to negotiate the roadway easement. Is there a motion?
So moved by trustee Griffin, second by trustee Rudez, Mayor.
Is there trustee Griffin and second by?
Trustee Rudez.
Okay. Are there any questions, concern? Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Vote aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Have your business manager in there.
No, that's not
Mayor
it.
Covington.
I have a question first. Where is? Okay.
Madam Mayor, that's resolution R 2014-0402.
That's what now?
02.
02.
Thank you. One more time, I'm sorry.
R 2014-02.
Okay. Motion to approve the 2014 calendar year meeting schedule.
So
Your
moved.
motion,
Second.
moved by trustee Rudez, second by trustee Oscar. Is there a question, comments?
yeah, I have two.
Yes, sir.
One is a question and the other is an amendment.
Excuse me, 1 minute, trustee. Hey, guys, can you kind of quiet it down in the back,
Thanks,
please?
that. Don't make a difference.
Thank you, trustee.
Thank you.
This board, when it passed the last fiscal year budget, agreed to, on a, I think it was on a quarterly basis, to have a joint meeting with the Finance Committee to tweak the budget, as it was necessary. Now, we really haven't done that. So my question to the board is, should we build that into the calendar for this coming year? Is that something that you want to do, or just let it roll?
What dates are you proposing?
Well, it would be quarterly, or if you want, or we do it once every 4 months,
For the budget.
for the budget, just to meet with them, to get an update on where things stand.
Right.
If there's some priorities that have changed, or some other kinds of things,
We start with February, since that's the first time we want to do it. You want to start at February and end quarterly from there?
Yeah, whatever the pleasure is, and, we can go.
We can add that into the meeting days.
Right, do every 4 months as opposed to every 3,
Unless you know any specific date that would coordinate with the Board of Trustees, it might be best to do it as a special meeting.
Just for the date, or we can put it in.
Have a workshop prior to the
Yeah.
board meeting.
You certainly could do that, but what I'm suggesting is this is really intended to be for regularly scheduled meetings that we know about now. But yeah, you certainly go forward. I'm just suggesting that another option, if you do not know what the actual date would be, is to make certain that they're done as joint special meetings, or a special meeting of the Finance Committee to coordinate with a portion of the Board of Trustees meeting.
Right, that's originally what it is, we had agreed to do, and so that's what I was just asking what the pleasure of the board is, so that it doesn't get lost in the shuffle.
Would the board so desire to do a straw poll, or you'd like to then have a meeting at a later date, or how do you want to?
I actually like the special meetings option, and we just do it, or remind ourselves to do it in February, May, November.
Yeah, I mean, we pick the dates right here on the first section there.
Right.
First or second,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too, to do it on a Tuesday.
Right. Okay.
Right before the board meeting in February, March, and November, are you saying?
Do it that way.
So you're in agreement to amend this one, or just have a special meeting?
Just have a special meeting, call a
Okay.
workshop.
Is that in agreement with everyone? Everyone okay? All right.
The other thing is that the Finance Committee, in conjunction with the Finance Director, would prefer to meet on the third Wednesday of the month at Village Hall as opposed to Monday in the Town Center. If the meetings get so large that we could relocate, but they haven't been, so until that time. So if we could amend this to be Wednesday, the third Wednesday, 7 to 8:30 at Village Hall.
Right.
Right, Village
It's
Hall.
a kind of conflict with the school board too.
Right. Well, it's a more convenient schedule that will accommodate participation by the Finance Director as well.
Okay. That's okay with you, sir? Okay. Any other questions, suggestions, changes?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
it's listed for the Golf Club Advisory Committee
Yes.
that the time is at 5:30.
Right.
It was amended to 7:30.
Right.
But then there were some concerns and questions asked if we could move it up maybe half an hour or an hour.
To 7.
To 7 o'clock.
Okay.
So we would like to amend this to 7 o'clock, the first Wednesday of each month.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, trustee. I work virtually. So you want to keep it at 5?
Hello. We can move it back up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
6 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
6 o'clock.
Okay, we'll move it back up to 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Mr. Travis?
Yes,
Is
6
that
o'clock.
good for you?
Yeah. Law court.
We're amending the hours for the Golf Club Advisory Committee to 6 o'clock. Is that
Right.
good for you?
Yes, sir.
6.
We just brought to my attention, public service and utilities is the third Wednesday at 7 o'clock at Village Hall. Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yes. Trustee said that's at a town center. Yes, it's going to have the town center. Third Wednesday. Maybe I wanted to go to a finance committee. If we want to change one.
I was going to say, maybe we could move the Public Service and Utility Committee to the first Wednesday.
No, we want to do if they can.
Okay, the first, you know what, that'd be good if you change it to the, either the first or the second Wednesday.
Okay. What you want yours first?
Second Wednesday's plan commission.
Well,
They don't have to see where we're at, where they're at.
Now, what, planning second.
Right. You say planning is the first.
Second, it says second on here, but these are first Wednesday dates, I think. I think it is the first Wednesday, because usually Tuesday after the board meeting.
Well, I can agree with you.
No, okay, because Tuesday after the board meeting.
Come back with this?
Yeah, because this is.
You guys want to come back with this?
Make most of the table come back and
Please.
organize and
You
come
want
back
to do
to the next
that?
meeting.
Yes. Okay.
I'll call everyone. I'll call.
Okay. A motion to table
Move
this.
the table.
Okay, by trustee Milton Page to table, and second by trustee Oscar Graham. Okay? Thank you, guys. Roll call, please.
Trustee
Table.
Trustee Oscar Brown. Trustee Page. Trustee Griffin.
Both sides.
Trustee Burdette.
Both sides to
And Mayor
table.
Covington.
Aye. Okay. Okay, at this time, we're going to do bills payable. Attached to your approval is a listing of the general operating expenses for Village University Park, and following is a grand total of the everyday expenditures for the last 4 weeks of December 10th to January 14th. General operating funds, $315,645.79. Road and Bridge, $5,247.75. Town Center, $8,190.86. Golf course funds, $57,752.88. TIP 3, $45,200. TIP 5 is $286.34, and a total of $432,323.62. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Brunette, second.
Second.
Second by trustee. Just a second. Second by trustee Milton Payton. Questions? Trustee Oscar and trustee Griffin.
My first question is about, I guess it's 48 and 49 on page 1. Of course, on the check register report, it corresponds to page 27 on the invoice approval list. The tip 3, real estate tax payments to John Bonema and Robert Bonema. How come the payments going to two family members, it looks like?
Those are right-of-way purchases for the University Parkway.
And like one person wants one and got divided by
It's, I think the husband and wife simply requested secretaries.
Next question is about a 51, 52, and 53, Call One Incorporated. You got line installation, phone service, and telecommunication provider. What's that all about?
I think those $10,000 checks are just of 2 months. The description is probably wrong. I'm not sure what the line installation, but I think those are just 2 months check there.
All right, so this is rather phone service?
That's a monthly phone service.
The last question, I think they might all be related. This is number 80 on page 1 of the check register report to Hansel and to Pearson. And then you have another on another page, on page 2, I think it's 1097 to 1098, made to Mead Electric Company. What are these check reports of the light repair companies?
What's the second check for that?
It says Mead Electric Company lights for $1,134, and then there's payment to Hansel Pearson for $3,920.14 light repairs. Hansel Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson.
Trustee Brown? I'd like to, Hansel Jefferson, National Streetlight Repair Material.
So is it for the streetlights that's on
Our streetlights, residential streetlights.
just all over the village or one for the university?
All through University Park. Yeah. The Mead is the traffic signals.
Any other? Trustee Griffin?
Copier leases, is that for all the copier leases? We got 3 different ones. On page 2, vendor number, all three of them are 2410. Look at different prices, 5707, 2964, 3426.
Those lease agreements?
Those are copy of lease agreements.
All three?
Yes.
How many copies do we have?
How many copy machines?
Yes,
Xerox machines we have?
so you got
That's 7 and 3 ones do we get?
it's about 12,000.
Golf course, Village Hall, 4.
John is giving us a count, so. You don't find it. How many?
4.
You don't want it for a copier.
Yeah.
The ones,
Some
golf
are free.
course,
You got some free.
Village Hall,
Village Hall has 3.
IT, and our office.
Park and Rec. Some of them are golf course.
Individual printers.
Some of them are free. We didn't have to buy.
Some of them are printers and some of them are,
And they were
some are attached to the computers, some are actually copy machines. We have quite a few of them.
Yeah, some free. Okay. Trustee, you on the paper?
Yes,
What
Mayor.
I do is I have IT give you a detailed report.
All right,
On page 2, and it looks like it's, the last 4 digits are 1121. Print King. I want to know where, if I can get some of these business cards.
That's a bad
Trustee Rudez. $776 for these business cards. I know it's just a headache, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
What's going on with that, Mr. Jones?
No, it picks up the first name on the
order. See, and that happened before. But they, we just want to make it clear. Sometimes we pick up whatever first name is there. It is not DD, it's 776. If it was my name, the same thing, but it's for the multiple people. So that needs to be clear. Okay,
It's later, huh?
Okay, the last one was first, second, third ordinance reading. Ordinance.
Ma'am, you didn't vote on it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill Smith. Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin. Trustee Rudez.
Votes aye to pay the bills.
And Mayor Covington.
Uh-oh. Just a line. Aye. You missed that one. Okay. The next one is the first, second, third reading, ordinance established in the University Park Board Liaison Committee with Governor State University. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Rudez, second. Second by Trustee Griffin. Any questions? I read this extensively. Like I said, they have a consortium, and we've been invited many, many times, and I don't know why no one participates in that consortium meeting, and it has a table, I think it's like 25, it's an outreach program, and it has an opening for University Park. They have outreach and work with our village on multiple projects, and I have reported those as much. So I hope that whatever you do, it is accepted and she accepts it. But I hope to see people there, because a lot of times we've been invited and no one shows up. It's not like we're not working with them and they're not working with us. We need to understand that that is a state university. Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Nay.
Trustee Griffin.
Votes aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Votes aye for progress.
And Mayor Covington.
Since my name is not on it, nay.
Mayor Covington, that's ordinance O 2014-02.
Thank you. Okay. First and second and third reading of Title 4 of the Administrative Code, Chapter 210, Board of Trustees, Selection 2010-01, Standing Rule, Subsection, Standing Rule 11, presented for your query. Consideration and approval of an ordinance amending the Title 4 of Administrative Code 2010, Board of Trustees, specifically Standing Rule 11 and ordinance.
So moved.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Griffin, Trustee Rudez, second. Roll call. I'm sorry, questions? Comments? Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton. Trustee Griffin.
Votes aye.
Trustee Rivera.
Votes aye for democracy.
And Mayor Covington. Mayor Covington, that's ordinance.
One quick thing about this ordinance. This is only when in fact you are incapacitated or out of town. In the event that you simply are going to come to a meeting later or something of that nature, there would be a motion of the board to choose a temporary chairman. I have a memo coming to the board about it. There's nothing wrong with changing it the way it's listed, but I want to point out to the board that a mayor pro tem actually has all of the powers of the mayor, and it is only to be used in a situation when the mayor is not able to perform. So if the mayor is simply late to a meeting or is not available for a particular meeting but is available, that the mayor pro tem would not be the proper action. There simply would be the board could choose one of its members as a temporary chairman, and I'll give you a memo to that effect.
Because what we were doing was a standard having this, our senior trustee doing, and I guess the board's not for that. So, okay, roll call. Roll call.
I thought we voted on this already.
Oh, I'm sorry, oh, you made a comment afterwards. She was giving the ordinance number.
Yeah, which is 2014-03.
Thank you. Okay.
Madam Mayor?
It's our trust. At this time, we'd like the board of trustees and then comments.
No.
Start with what?
Before we go to, can we handle the appointment of the chairman of the,
No, that would have to be on the next, I was going to mention that. The ordinance you passed tonight allows for the board to choose a chairman of that committee. That should be on the agenda for the next board meeting.
Right.
okay.
So stated in the ordinance. Board of trustees, comments, trustee Williams?
I want to say happy New Year to everybody. Welcome back. I'm sorry for all the disgusting things that's been happening. We do need this GED class to be here in University Park. Keep fighting for it. I believe the whole board will fight for this because the kids need an education. If they get an education, they'll get a job. They get a job, they go to work, they'll have something to do. Instead of sit around looking at each other, fighting, shooting. It'll be something positive. And also, that research center, they need to get up and running. This is my comments tonight.
Thank you, Trustee Oscar.
First, I'd like to wish everybody a happy and prosperous New Year. In regards to the shootings that have been taking place, especially over the last couple of years, University Park wasn't always this way. I've often commented about the times when I used to go to Regal Farm and climb a tree and go out into the field and this Credit Scott came out, but back then it was Hickon and all those things that we used to do back here in University Park. It can improve, it's going to improve, it will improve. But we have to do some things ourselves, some things we can do as a board, but we all have to care as a community and come together and work together. On another note, I'd like to announce that the first Friday Seafood Buffet is coming back. That's Friday, February 7th, 2014. You buy one at $15.95, get one at half off. They're going to have delicious menu items such as shrimp and corn chowder, black and tilapia with lemon beurre block sauce, southern fried chicken, garlic shrimp scampi, baked cod with crispy lemon butter topping, jerk chicken, spaghetti with meatballs, green beans, almondine, peach cobbler, and an array of salads and garlic breads. A delicious culinary treat for one and all. So please come out on Friday, February 7th. Only $15.99, and the next person comes in half off. Also, we covered our comprehensive plans today. I want to give you a list of dates. We have the next two that should be very important to the public is February 12th at 7 o'clock p.m. That's going to be a joint meeting between the steering committee and the planning commission. That's Wednesday, February 12, 2014. And there will be a public open house on March 1st, 2014 at 10 o'clock. Also, I encourage everyone to visit PlainUniversityPark.com. Go there, fill out the survey, let us know what it is that you want for your village. Public participation is important, and this is your chance to come out and participate and chart the future for University Park, because we cannot do it all alone. We need your help as well. So please visit PlainUniversityPark.com. Please come out on March 1st, 2014 at 10 o'clock to the public hearing, and there will be a meeting on Wednesday, February 12, 2014 at 7 o'clock with the Steering Committee and the Planning Commission. And one last time, please come out on Friday, February 7, 2014 for the first Friday seafood buffet. One person pays $15.95 and the other comes in for one half the price. So come on out, and those are my comments, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Milton.
Thank you, Mayor Covington. I too would like to wish everybody a happy new year. I hope you had a great holiday season. I'd really like to thank Pastor Williams for coming. Unfortunately, in so many communities, we have to have a crisis before we can get up and get something done. I've always been a believer that we need to institutionalize our activities in order to make sure that they take place. And, hopefully our board will come together to come up with a number of programs that we can coordinate with the larger community and put it in the budget and have something done, because, talk walks. So, I had a lot of complaints about the snow removal, but there are different aspects of it. I understand we had some severe equipment problems, and that it prevented some of it to be done properly. But one of the things as a community that we need to perhaps do is to help our neighbors. One of the toughest things about shoveling out your driveway is when they come past and plow the street, and you got to get out there and dig that out. That's the toughest part. And this gets particularly tough for senior citizens, people who are not maybe in good health. So we'd ask, for you to take a look at, and that was one of the reasons why we wanted to start the block club party, so people can get together and get to know your neighbors. As Pastor Williams says in each one of his services, do you know your neighbors? Get out there with the kids maybe and help shovel out the driveways or sidewalks, so the kids have safe passages, but so that those that maybe are not able to can get out of their driveway as well. So I'm sure Mr. Burgess is going to be working on the snow removal program if in the event we have another heavy snow like we did the last time. But we shouldn't rely just on him. We need to protect our kids so they don't have to walk into the streets, shovel the driveways, and get the kids together, make it a fun thing, let them burn off some steam. So that's my comments.
Thank you,
See everyone here in the moment. I want to say to Trustee Williams, I know you've been catching flack for GED, but I'm here to say I stand with you for the GED. For whatever reason, our young people left school, they see that they want to go back now. And I'm not going to stand in their way, because to do anything, you've got to have high school diploma. And if they get the GED, that's equivalent to a high school diploma. And I'm not going to not afford them that opportunity. We do everything else we want to do. We have dinners stuck in the park where people don't come. Then we can pay $13,000 a year for them to come and get an education. Period. I will not vote against it.
and I don't care who don't like it. It takes that education to move forward in your life. You can't go to college without a high school diploma. You can't get anything without that high school diploma. It's a shame. It's really a shame. Pastor Williams, I'm with you. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do. I'm sorry for the situation with the families. Anything I can do for them, I'll be more than happy to do. I'll call my pastor, Pastor Bishop Grant. He's out there. Whatever you need, I'll try to do. I'm willing to do it. And I'm not just talking. I done got a little older, I'm a little slower, but hey, I can still put one foot in front of them. I'll be more than happy to do whatever I can. I'm serious. Because I hate when a child is shot or hurt. Because it hurts longer than you really. Because you never know when it's going to be your granddaughter, your daughter, your son. You never know. Like the gentleman said, today, it was his son. He didn't understand what Trustee Ruiz was going through. Well, I have cousins and stuff that get shot, so I understand. I understand. Anything I can do, I'll be more than happy to do. Just let me know. I want to say I wish everybody a happy new year. God bless you. And those are my comments.
Thank you, Trustee.
I'd like to welcome everybody to 2014. Glad everybody made it. Glad to see everyone here. Hopefully we can make it through another year. But as I look forward to new beginnings in the village of University Park, it's just troublesome to realize that violence is the topic of some of these city council meetings. It's very, it's just disheartening, to be honest with you. And as they said earlier, you never know the full effect of violence until it lands on your front door. You know? It's a lifelong, lasting effect, and it never, ever goes away. Whether they heal or not, it never goes away. To imagine Mr. Rouse losing a son that I used to coach in baseball, it's devastating. And I know that Police him is always going to be gone. But thank God for his strength and his will. He's able to move forward and find other things to keep him busy. And as we always say, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, maybe God has just positioned us to bring us together to get some of these things done, because community engagement is what's necessary. Our resource center, we're going to deliver that to you guys. It's needed, and the political adversity that prolonged it to get done is over with. And this whole board is going to move forward with it, and I'm going to ask for everyone's engagement. As far as the GED program, there are not enough classrooms out here. Stop prohibiting people from going and getting education. Some people might not be able to get to Prairie State. But if there's something that we can offer here in our community, then support it. Support what's real. Invest in the future of our young kids. Plant the seed.
That's right.
I'm not going to be here when the seeds I plant come out and grow. But it's not about us. It's about planting the seeds for our future generations. And I think that we should all support that as a community, as a church, and as businesses in this town. It's just something that we're just going to have to work forward to and stop being reactive. We need to be proactive. And let's work with the churches, the communities, the people who have all these skills, because ordinary people do extraordinary things. We've got people right here, as Mrs. Taylor says, right in front of us that can do a lot of things. Let's start using the resources at our hand. The majority of times that we look around for things, we look everywhere but right in front of us. Let's open our eyes and see what God has for us. I thank you for the time. We look forward to new beginnings, opportunity for a fair and equal employment opportunities, job training, and have a very nice community. Thank you so. Yes, Mr. Jones? All right, thank you so much for your time.
Mayor and our directors, Bell and, what's your name again? And Jones, make a quick comment before you share it.
Yeah, as I'm sure everyone knows, Monday will be the celebration date for the birth date of Dr. King. In celebration of that, Governor State will be hosting a program where Congresswoman Robin Kelly will be the, keynote speaker. Everyone in the community is invited out. I think it starts Monday at 10 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. And I think lasts only for about a couple couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours, not a very long program, but I'm sure one that will be uplifting and informative for all who attend.
To the board, the only thing I wanted to say was I passed out the 2009 audit and the management letter. I know the audit is late, it's not timely, it's still somewhat relevant, but the management letter, if you get a chance, you might want to read that because it's pretty much, well, you must read it. It's pretty much constructive criticism. A lot of those are the challenges that we still face today in getting these audits complete, but it's pretty detailed, it's pretty easy to read, and it kind of explains some of the problems the auditors had and some of the problems that still occur.
Thank you.
What it would do, it would dispel rumors as to why the audits were not completed on time. You had the auditor's report, the management report in black and white, which will indicate you on what the true issues were.
Thank you, sir. Trustee, Clerk Jones, do you have anything? Yes. Gee. Thank you. Just want to wish everybody the best of this year. As I say all the time, hope you have more peace than you ever imagined, more fortune than you can ever spend, more love than you can ever attain. Be blessed, but above all, be a blessing to somebody else. Smile. You'd be surprised at what a smile can do to lift somebody's spirit. I'm not going to sit here and quote Dr. Martin Luther King on what he says about violence, because I think all of us here know how devastating violence is, what it does to everybody. It's not just the people involved in the act. It's everybody. It's a community. We have to come together and kind of go back home, back down south, when people really cared about people. Young people respected adults. Adults carried themselves in a way to command this respect. We have to get back to doing those things that created a safe community. I moved out here over 40 years ago. So I have watched this community go through a complete reversal, a complete change. This change does not have to be bad. Change can be, and it is, what we make it to be. My daddy used to say, I'm one of those PKs, charity begins at home and it spreads abroad. So I challenge my board, let's practice what we preach. Let's put aside our differences, our personal differences, and realize that the community did not elect us to be friends. They elected us to take care of the people's business. If we become friends along the way, that makes this job a piece of cake. But let's not get it mixed up. We are elected and we are held to a higher standard than other people in the community. Let's teach our children, the young people, how to resolve problems, not perpetrate them. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Let's not do this. Let's show them respect for authority, because you can't expect them to learn it and to show it if they haven't been taught, because believe it or not, kids live what they learn. So let's become role models, the best we can be. That's all can be asked of us. Be the best that you can be. Love somebody. Respect everybody. Please as many as you can. But please, as you might hear me say, I love you with the love of God. Love you, don't like you all the time. So let's be honest, let's get down, let's start talking to each other and not at each other. Peace and love, and we're going to get there. We are going to get there.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Happy New Year, everyone. And I pray God that means a lot. Some didn't make it. I too am a victim. I lost, 1993, my son was struck here in the village, left paralyzed. So that, as a mother of one in an accident and one daughter died, I understand that hurt her. And we should, like a police officer, our chief said, let's look at the kids that are successful. We have a lot of children, our young broadcasters, 36 that I've worked with this summer. And we do have a positive children here, and maybe we need to bring them in, and then they can work with us as well. But sometimes it's not all what we say, it's what they can share with us and understand and tell us the problems that's going on and help them fix it. And you're right, Miss Taylor, she has come, and I did direct that to the powers of being, but for whatever reason it didn't didn't transpire, but I apologize for that. I hope that they will listen to you, because she has a lot to offer. And Miss Bobby Greer, there are a lot of teachers here, a lot of people with expertise in this village, and I've always said we need to gather around that. And as far as GD, yes, there are, we have other facilities, and if that's what they want to do, the board has so agreed to put $27,000 in a budget for that. And yes, we do have the library, yes, we do have the high school, yes, we do have Prairie State. But if that's the choice that they want to make, then that's so be it. And we will support, like I said, everybody. If we don't agree, so what? We're going to support it. If that's what we're supposed to do here at the board. I want to also let you know that I will be bringing, everyone knows about the airport. I attended the meeting, and I asked them to come here, University Park, and tell everyone here about it, so you can ask questions about that as well, where we are, where we're going to be, because it's not about us. CMAP has written something that's going to exist, what they call the Comprehensive Plan 2040. We might not even be here for that, but we do need to prepare that future for our babies, for our children. And we as parents, we do need to set an example. We need to stop going in this hate. It's not going to do anything for us. We do, like you said, take your sides, do what you want, but this is what we're supposed to do. This is not a very fabulous position to be in. No, it's not. But I give all that I can. I give financially, I give love. Whatever I can do, I'm going to do that, and I will continue in spite of what everybody says. I was looking at Mandela's story. I wonder why that man sacrificed his life like that. Why did Malcolm X do it when they tried to write him out of history? People were so hateful to him, they killed him. These are people that put their lives out. We put our lives out there to help. Not that we can go home and sit and be comfortable as well, but there's a mission on some people's lives to really do something different. For 11 years in this village, I have always shared job availabilities. Like this one's job fair, it will be on the table. I've sent them to the library, to the cable station, to the Public Works and Park and Recs, everywhere about these job availabilities. But we must be real. We have to qualify and prepare ourselves for them too. We just can't tell someone to give us a job and protest if they don't give it to us. We need to be qualified. We'll get our babies qualified for that. Please work with the kids in school. Help the kids stay in school. Encourage them. Talk to some parents. It's a mother that has just recently lost her child, and she gave up on God, and she's not even loving her own children. It's a lot of things that we need to, like the pastor did. It's a heavy job, and we need to support him in every way we can, and we will do that. Also, if there's anything that anyone wants to talk to me about, I have an open door policy. Call me. We don't have to display all our dirty laundry all the time. We are such a rough, we are dying in the rough. You don't understand what University Park is. We are the nucleus of everything that's going to happen.
And we need to be a little above board than that. We need to be a little bit more intelligent than that, because we are. We're more than that. We need to stop all of this. I would love for this board to sit down and say, okay, let's make it happen. I'm willing to roll up my sleeves and do that with us. But we gotta stop saying me, my, I. It's about us. We need to get our churches together. We need to get the people together and work as one. I can't change people. As I said, this is a piece of board here. It is wood, you can't move it, I can't change it. But how can you say you love God? I heard people say God all over the place. How can you say you love God, but yet you hate your fellow man that you see every day? That's just phenomenal, but I'm going to do what my pastor tells me to do, and I'm going to live for my other life. Because this is not what it's about. Our pastor wants us to help us. All the pastors have talked to me, and we need a religious nucleus out here as well. That's what's going to help us go where we need to go. Regardless if you believe in God or not, He wakes you up every day. And I love each and every one when you can't do anything about it. I ask for an adjournment right now. And excuse me, go into executive session for personnel. Move for executive session.
Second.
Thank you. Yes, we have.
Roll call for executive
Yes, that's
session.
it. Roll call.
I ain't going to executive
Roll
session.
call. Yes, ma'am.
Who made the motion?